When it comes to the medical courier business, there's a lots of opportunities, and I mean nationwide. So it's not about in a city or state or county. It's not about a specific niche. It's about across the board. Okay, but it's important to understand that if you want to be a successful medical courier, you got to have the right strategy, but you got to have the right vision too. So key takeaways here include the fact that medical courier businesses handle sensitive, vital packages, making it a very high stakes industry, right? But pretty rewarding field because there's lots of opportunities, but also lots of competition. So that's why you have regulation. Okay, you will need specialized vehicles and trained personnel to keep sensitive medical items safe. Whether you do it yourself, whether you're a solo medical courier or you have, let's say, drivers actually working for you, you got to make sure that you have specialized vehicles. Okay, and it's important to understand that if you want to be successful in this industry, it's not just about finding the customers. It's all about complying with regulations, healthcare regulations, okay? Because see, you are handling people's data. You are handling people's personal data. So it's important to understand that authorities have put in place a few conditions or a few restrictions to make sure people's data is actually safeguarded, okay? And it's important to also think that if you want to actually get new customers, it's not just about word of mouth. You got to try everything. You got to try word of mouth. You got to try referral. You got to try membership in community groups or professional associations, local associations. You got to also try local SEO. Okay, SEO, search engine optimization. And this is for a scalability point of view. You have to keep that in mind. Okay. And one thing I want to say here is that if you want to be successful in this industry, you got to be organized and punctual. You got to be responsible enough to handle sensitive medical materials, and you got to be someone who enjoys the independence of running his or her own company. Okay, that's an important element. So when it comes to understanding the industry, you need to understand that being a medical courier can be a life and death business. Temperature control for packages is critical. Compliance again with regulations is non-negotiable. Don't try to negotiate on that front, okay? And also, when it comes to getting started in the business, you got to really write a business plan. Everything starts with writing a business plan and have a clear understanding of healthcare regulations and licensing in your particular area, because every area is different. Of course, you have federal laws and regulations, but every state, every locality has its own law as well. And make sure that you have insurance. Think of the right vehicle, the right staff, and the right tech. When it comes to delivering health and being a successful medical career, it's important to understand that if you want to be successful in a scalable manner, like in the long run, you've gotta have the right strategy. But most importantly, you have to understand also local trends. Okay, this market, this industry is growing like crazy. Because see, the thing is that when you think about medical career, you're thinking about people's lives, right? Everybody, and I mean everybody, will have at some point something to do with the hospital, with the healthcare system, which means that they might have to go through the medical career sort of pathway as a patient, not as a business person, not as a businessman, but as a patient, right? So that really opens doors for opportunities. So for medical couriers, you're looking at multiple avenues for revenue. So when it comes to finding the right customers, it's important that you identify your target market. Your target market here could include, let's say, hospitals, clinics, labs, pharmacies, and medical research facilities, right? So those are your primary core markets. Those are your five primary core categories. So you need to understand their specific needs so that you can tailor your services and marketing approach, right? So you know there are pain points and you try to have a solution to those pain points. The next thing you want to do after identifying your target market is to actually think about having a presence online. Now, I'm not just talking about just having a random presence online. You got to have a strong online presence, okay? And everything starts with having a professional website. You got to have a professional website. I don't care how great you think you are, your service is. If you don't have a professional website, you are actually left behind. You will be left behind. So you can use services such as Squarespace, Webflow, Wix to actually have a professional website. And you also have to leverage local SEO. I talked about that before, but it's important. You got to leverage local SEO, search engine optimization, and you got to network also within the medical community. So building face-to-face relationships is very valuable, especially in this long-term sort of industry. Also, if you want to be a successful medical courier this year, it's important to understand that when you try to really network within the medical community, it's also important to think about direct outreach. Okay, it's all about just reaching out directly to those medical facilities and say, listen, this is what it is. This is what I do. This is what I can do for you. Right. So don't shy away at all from direct marketing for your business venture. So you can create a list of potential clients and reach out via email, phone, or even in-person visits. It's one of those things where some people are comfortable in those settings, some are not. So you got to see which setting is good for you, which strategy is good for you. Do you want to do do you want to do a telemarketing on the phone, or would you rather just have a direct visit, like a physical visit, an in-person visit? Okay. It, anyway, you want to prepare a concise pitch that highlights the benefits of your service. It's not about what you're doing. Once again, it's not about what your medical courier is actually doing. It's the value it's bringing. Is the problem that the your service it's solving. Okay, so visiting potential clients in person is old school, but it really works. Okay, especially when they see the let's say the person behind the company, for instance. Okay, also think about referral programs. I spoke about that a little earlier, but I want to insist on that. When I say referral programs, you basically want to put in place a system that incentivizes current clients to recommend your services. Okay, for instance, you can have a gift card, you can have a discount on the next service. You can have something that encourages people to recommend you. That's what you want. That's what a referral process does. Okay, encouraging people. And you also got to think about content marketing. So if you think about delivering health and being a successful medical courier business this year, content marketing will help you big time. Okay. So you want to share your expertise through blog posts, articles, or even short videos about medical courier best practices, industry trends, or case studies of the delivery process. And this position you as an industry expert and can improve your SEO. Like Google will start sending you a traffic for free. And here I'm speaking about organic traffic, right? Not paid traffic, not PPC. If you're thinking about being a successful medical courier, it's important to understand that social media can really help you big time. I mean, it's one of those things where you might be thinking, well, those medical facilities, those hospitals, those labs, those clinics, they're not on social media. They are on social media, and even if they're not on social media as institutions, people working there are on social media, and those people they pay attention. Those people they take notice. Those people know what's happening. Those people may actually end up following your business on social media. So whether you are on LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram or Pinterest or Snapchat, it really can help you. Now the thing is, the social media you choose will depend on your target audience, right? You don't have to be on all 5 or 6 or 10 social media at once. No, you can choose 2 or 3 and see the ones where your potential clients are hanging out at. Okay, this is you want to meet them. You want to hang out where they're at, and this is how you can create a connection. Okay, and you also can try targeted advertising if you have the money for it, if you have the low budget for it. You can try paid advertising on search engines or social media platforms, Google, Facebook, Pinterest, and so on and so forth. Okay, and and while doing that, you focus on healthcare professionals in your area, right? Because the thing is, you're not just reaching out to regular people. Your business is not a your business is a B2B business, right? It's a business to business enterprise. You're not really doing a B2C or a C2C. You might be an individual, but you need to run your medical courier as a business because it is a business. It's not a charity. It's not a sole proprietorship. Okay. And also, you want to think about partnership and collaborations. So look for opportunities to partner with complementary businesses. For example, a medical equipment supplier might be willing to recommend your services to their clients, right? So this is really good. And one thing you want to do here is that if you are trying to really think about partnerships and collaborations, always put forward the win-win situation, right? What are you bringing to them? And so because they need to see what you're bringing to them for them to actually recommend you or be willing to partner with you. If you want to be a successful medical courier this year, you need to staff up with the best drivers too. I mean, this is if you're trying to have a team, right? I mean, remember, as a medical courier, you have the option to do to go solo or go in a group, like have a fleet of vehicles. It depends on how scalable or how scaled you want your business to be. You can start by yourself, but once you reach a certain critical level, you have to really think about maybe hiring people. So great courier drivers are the beating heart of delivery companies. So they are basically the face of the business and set the tone for the company, right? There has to be a strong correlation between your brand, your advertising, your content, your tone, and your drivers. Because people actually see your drivers. See, if you are a medical courier business, the first thing people see actually is your drive. The first thing people see is how let's say how friendly or how do I say it how customer focused your drivers are, right? Because they're the one delivering the products, they're the one interacting with clients, they're the one saying hello, thank you, they're also the one driving on the road, so people will see everything. So your whole marketing, your whole branding will actually be reflected in your drivers. Okay, so be sure that you choose the right drivers. Think about excellent driving abilities and thorough knowledge of local roads, careful attention to detail, consistent reliability and timeliness. Punctuality is key. Punctuality is key. Sometimes when you think about medical courier, you are dealing with let's say time sensitive items. So your drivers must be punctual. And strong commitment to patient privacy is also an important element. Okay, they have to be as discreet as possible. The ability to handle several medical supplies, that's important, and also effective communication skills. Those are quite essential. Okay, one thing I want to say here is that when they are paying attention to detail, that's because they are handling sensitive materials like medical supplies and vaccines. Okay, and those are really important items. So the thing is, when you think about being a medical courier, a successful medical courier, you also need to think about the right vehicles. See, the whole thing is you can staff up with the best drivers, but if you don't have the right vehicles, the right cars, you'll be wasting a lot of time. Okay, because again, you'll be picking actually some equipment, some items, some medical items that need to actually be stored in a certain area. They need to be delivered in a certain area. They need to be actually handled in a certain area. So if you don't have the right vehicle, if you don't have the right equipment in your vehicle, you can't really be successful. So picking the right vehicles is super important for a medical courier business. You need reliable cars that won't break down because medical deliveries can be late, right? I think I've said this before. It's all about punctuality. So most companies go for newer cars or well-kept used ones with low miles. Mid-sized cars, small SUVs, or minivans are actually popular choices, especially if you're looking for, like, if you are in a certain area that's maybe mountainous or hilly, for instance. You want to have the right vehicle. So vehicle is number one. Number two, temperature control. So temperature control is a big deal too. Most medical stuff needs to stay cold. So you might need special cooling or heating systems in your vehicles. Fuel efficiency matters because you will be driving a lot, but make sure the car can still do the job right. Okay, especially from a scalability point of view, you want to be sure things are done right. So don't forget about brand image. Clean, branded vehicles make your business seem more professional. A great looking vehicle is an investment. So taking good care of your cars helps you do a better job and keep clients happy. And that's what you want. You want to keep clients happy, especially in the long run. And this is going to help you big time. This is going to help you actually have a sense of responsibility, but also have a sense of I would say accountability. So, what are the pros and cons here when it comes to this medical courier industry? What are the pros and cons of this industry? Let's talk about that. The pros of starting a medical courier business this year, especially this year. Well, you have flexibility, right? As the owner of a medical courier business, you are the boss. You can set your own schedule and decide which clients to work with. This freedom allows you to balance work and personal life in a way that suits you best. You also have affordability. So, compared to many other businesses, starting a medical courier service doesn't require a ton of cash up front, especially if you already have a reliable vehicle to work with. You won't have to worry about renting a big office or buying expensive machinery. You also have a community impact. So, by transporting vital medical supplies, lab samples, or even organs for transplant, you are playing a crucial role in healthcare, and your work can save lives and improve the health of people in your community. So, that's pretty cool, right? And you have growth opportunity. I've said this before that this industry is growing like crazy, okay? And so that means what? That means that you have a higher need for medical couriers. If you play your cards right and build a solid reputation, you could tap into a growing market. No one can guarantee you will strike it rich, but there is potential for good earnings in this field. So, what about the cons when it comes to the medical courier? Like the cons of starting a medical courier service, you do have stiff competition, right? You won't be the only player in this game. Many areas already have established medical courier services, so you will need to work hard to stand out and win clients. And you also have the red tape, so be okay with paperwork. The medical field is heavily regulated, and for good reason. You will need to get the right licenses, understand HIPAA and OSHA, and follow rules about handling sensitive medical items. OSHA stands for Occupational Safety Health Administration. Okay. And so you also have a high stakes responsibility because when transporting medical specimens, hazmats, or blood-borne pathogens, there is no room for error. A mistake could have serious consequences for patients. So this pressure can be stressful, especially when you are just starting out, right? If you're just a new kid on the block. And you also have irregular hours, so healthcare doesn't sleep. So be prepared to for, I mean, be prepared to work late nights, okay, and weekend. You can have also weekend work or holiday deliveries. Your social life might take a hit, especially in the beginning. And you also have a vehicle wear and tear. So your car or van is going to rack up miles actually fast. This means more frequent maintenance, repairs, and replacement. It's an ongoing cost you will need to factor into your business plan. So especially if you are in a specific area that actually has those conditions. So as you can see, starting a medical courier service can be rewarding, but it's not a walk in the park. Weigh the pros and cons carefully before diving in. And so if you are actually up for the challenge, it's a great way to carve out a niche in the healthcare industry. So in conclusion to this conversation, I spoke to you about the medical courier business. I gave you the tick that the how do I say it, the right steps to follow. Okay, and also the most important thing is you have to staff up with the best drivers and get the right vehicles. Thank you so much. God bless you. I will see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.